I think the way that I came in, I was never able to get comfortable, never felt like I had job security. And once you get into kind of that mindset, you just keep striving for the next thing. So 10 years later, I was able to leave pretty accomplished.
Awesome story, man. Talk to us about the Champion Fund. What is it and what are you trying to accomplish here?
Sure. So the Champion Fund is an interval fund. So it's an SEC registered fund, and the mission and vision here is to make the sports asset class accessible to every investor. Over the last decade or so, we've seen more and more news and more conversation around the sports asset class and how it's growing, but it's typically been institutional investors only. And what we know, me personally, being the product on the field as a player, transitioning into the investment world. Having some ownership and operational experience for about 7 years. So I've been able to see this asset class from a bunch of different lenses. And the one thing that you realize is the biggest value catalyst for the asset class itself, the athletes, the fans, the coaches, administrators, they create all the value but get none of the equity in it. So the Champion Fund is really a vehicle that makes that whole asset class accessible to every investor.
How's been the response?
It's been a really good response. Right now, we're out trying to secure those anchor investors, those institutional investors, to kind of anchor the fund. But the concept has been really well received. The portfolio companies that we're in right now really love the concept of being able to get to kind of a distribution network of investors that typically they wouldn't have access to. So it's been well received.
Where do you guys see value today? Because I mean, the numbers have just gotten so huge. Mm-hmm. Like the NFL is not even a billionaires club anymore. It's private equity, it's institutional money, and even the NBA. The value of these franchises. Where do you see value in some of these maybe other areas of sports that are also growing?
I mean, that's where we see the biggest value. We call it the value chain. So the fund itself breaks down across 5 different what we call sub-asset classes. So there's the sports teams themselves, which our focus will be typically on those emerging leagues. Mm-hmm. So think Serie A, that's slightly underrated from a media value perspective. We're looking at sports ventures, which is growth stage technology companies, could be fan engagement tech, could be ticketing technology. We're looking at media and services businesses. We're also looking at real estate hospitality. That could be sports anchored mixed use. That could be stadium development itself. And then we're looking at fund to funds. So, established fund managers that have a track record, have their own thesis. So we've taken the asset class. We see value in all of these different 5 buckets. And what we really believe is the true catalyst for all of the growth and the valuation is the media rights.
Yes.
So as media rights kind of displace and find their way downstream, we see the kind of a high tide effect.
So it's interesting. Like one of the leagues that's really experienced explosive growth is the WNBA, and that's been just extraordinary over the last 2 or 3 years. They renegotiate their media rights pretty darn quickly here. Yep. How do the streaming services fit in here? I mean, is that going to be a source of media rights growth, do you think, for a lot of these maybe smaller leagues?
Yeah, I think that's where the displacement is going to come. I think when you look at the linear broadcast networks that have traditionally been in the space, yep, you're starting to see the Amazons, the Netflixes of the world start to enter the space in a more meaningful way. Those media rights and those broadcast holders, the rights holders, have to go somewhere else.
I got 3 questions. I got to squeeze them in here.
Shoot.
How do you react in soccer when they fall down and fake like they're hurt? I want to know the truth. I literally turned it. I played hockey. Yep. I literally turned the TV off. What does Marques Colston do?
It doesn't register for me.
Talk about the betting. When you were playing, it was Drew Brees is going to throw to Marques. Let's bet on it. It wasn't there, was it? Talk to the kids now about betting.
I mean, it's prevalent. It's everywhere, and it's one of those double-edged swords. They tell you not to get involved with it, but you see it everywhere, plastered everywhere. It's a touchy thing. It's going to be in the game.
Do you know anybody who's made money at it over long term?
No, the house always wins.
The house always wins. That's right. I got one final question. We get a huge response to you being on the show. I don't know much about football, but I know that Drew Brees threw the ball totally different than anybody else. And almost like in cricket or in baseball, the torque, the spin on the ball, I guess was like once in a generation. What was like catching that ball 20 yards out, say?
It was moving a lot faster than you think, but he just made the game so easy. It was just the way he saw the field. If you were able to see the field the same way as he did, he made the game so easy. He would throw it away. You could be covered and still be open at the same time.
So, what's next here for the fund here? What's next?
It's really just continuing to tell the story, continuing to find those anchor investor partnerships, and just continue to get the word out. We feel like we're building something that's unique and special.
Yep, and
cool. An email just came in. What do you think of the Lions this year? Are they stacked?
They're great.
It's our news guy.
I think this is the year I think you'll see more parity than any other year.
Great. Marques, thank you so much. Marques Colston with us of the New Orleans Saints with all of his work with Champion.